cables. I just got to adjust the screen a little bit here. Plug in my laptop because you don't want it to go dead while you're live. Lord knows. Okay. I'm here. I'm back. Let's see if I set this up a little bit higher, can I avoid I probably can't. Because I'll have to bring it down in order to, all right. Yeah, no, I can't. Done. All right, we got 17 people in the room on TikTok. Yay. I'm Leslie Wright. I am the owner and compounder at Bearcat Body Care Essentials. And my site, my products are dedicated to better body health. So that's really what it is. Body care products, better body health. I had a filling in the left top rear of my mouth, and I have those old school silver fillings from 100,000 years ago. And even though I'm only 15, but anyway, it's chipping away, it's coming out, and I can feel the root in that tooth, and it's a little annoying. And I was like, maybe I should go to the dentist and just have them take it out and put a porcelain filling in. And I just kept using my bentonite clay toothpaste. And after like a week, I brush morning and evening with my bentonite clay toothpaste. I can't feel that area at all. And I'm like, that's interesting. So it's been said that bentonite clay is remineralizing. And I have to imagine that it must be, because otherwise, why would I, no longer feel that tooth? It's fabulous. So, and that's what I use in my mouth. So it's important to have really good oral care, because your oral microbiome feeds your gut microbiome, and all of that is connected. And if we don't take care of our mouths and what's going on in our oral area, then it can negatively impact downstream, of course, and that's where we wind up with gut issues. And we got to do our best to keep our gut microbiome as healthy as possible. And there's no point in taking like probiotics or prebiotics or all of that if your oral microbiome is out of whack, because one feeds the other. Okay. Hallelujah. What's up? Thank you for the gifts. Hallelujah. 8:15. Come on up and join the panel. So everybody, I don't know how much you know about the TikTok algorithm, but the more you like, the more likes that I gather, the deeper out into algorithm land my live goes. So the more people it reaches and the more people that can join in. And I really would appreciate that if we could get up to 40,000 likes tonight. That would be awesome. I'm going to be on until 10:30. And then I'm going to take off. I was off last night. I took the whole night off because I had to make product to get orders out. And you needed product last night for today. I was making 50/50. And I made a bunch of 40/60 last night. And I made 50/50 and filled like 24 bottles of 50/50 and 40 bottles of the 40/60. And then the day before, I made 30/70 and made 70 bottles of 30/70. And then I'm going to make that again tonight because I have more 2-ounce bottles that got delivered yesterday. So I'm probably going to do another 100 bottles of 30/70 because that's our big seller on the website. And I got to keep more of it in inventory ready to rock and roll So I'm not caught, you know, not being able to fulfill orders fast enough like we have been the last 3 weeks. And I think the old saying is don't get caught with your pants down. I certainly don't want to do that again, Lord knows. So K is a butterfly. Hello, hello. How are you doing? Gabby, do you know anything about branch retinal occlusions? So the word branch is new in the world of retinal occlusions for me. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT to help me out on that. And yes, I'm yawning. I'm probably going to be tired for another month. Okay, so let's do this. It's called BRVO. Um, it's a branch retinal vein occlusion. Simple explanation. Branch retinal vein occlusion happens when one of the smaller veins in the retina, the part of the eye that sees light, gets blocked like a clogged pipe. This blockage stops normal blood flow and can cause blurred vision, distorted vision, sudden vision loss, especially in one part of the eye, floaters, small dark shapes drifting in the vision. And the causes for BRVO, most common, is high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, smoking, glaucoma, blood clotting disorders, and age. Of course, anybody over the age of 50. And what happens in the eye? The blockage causes blood and fluid to leak into the retina. Swelling, called macular edema, can damage vision. Without treatment, scar tissue may form, causing permanent damage. Okay, so here's the my take on that. Absolutely, positively, we'd use castor oil and DMSO to deal with this situation 1,000%, because DMSO penetrates deep enough into the eye system that it can positively impact the retina, and it's going to take the castor oil with it. Castor oil breaks things up in the body, so bumps, lumps, adhesions, cysts, growths, blockages, and the like. So, what's going to happen is the castor oil is going to get into that area. It's going to break up whatever material is blocking that vein, and then it's going to establish natural blood flow. DMSO actually increases blood flow to any particular area, which increases healing. And then you will have some restoration of whatever's gone on. So, whatever you've lost, you will have some level of restoration. There's no qualification of how much, but I can, tell you that both DMSO and castor oil are restoring in the eyesight. Okay. All right. Holly, I invited you up tonight. Holly 8:15. Okay. Oh, you're there. Okay. Yay.
Yay.
How you doing, girl? How are you feeling?
I am doing better if I eat less food.
Well, that's a good thing.
My hair.
That's a good thing. I imagine you probably do better too if you just eat for a longer period of time. Slow way down.
What do you mean eat for a longer period of time?
Well, we tend to eat very quickly. That's just where we are in our society right now.
Slow
it down. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I swallow air and I don't eat my food all the way, and just a lot of those things. So I'm even craving food right now, but I'm not going to eat. I had a salad for dinner. I had a shake for breakfast.
That's good.
What did I have for lunch? Oh, I had chickpea. Wait a minute. It's a chickpea spaghetti. You ever see that in the grocery store?
Yeah.
I like the taste of it. So, but it only takes 8 minutes to boil. Otherwise, it'll turn it into a soup. It'll melt it down too much.
Yeah.
But you gotta watch it. But that is good with tomato sauce if you're like people are craving pastas and stuff and don't always trust the starch and all that.
Right.
Chickpea has a lot of protein.
So,
and I feel better after having that. But certain things, really heavy things, and I gotta make sure I use the food processor and I use my Ninja blender thing to just make it like a smoothie.
yeah.
In the morning, trying to get over the cravings because my stomach organs are not gonna be happy if I stick anything else in my mouth. So I'm good right now. So I dyed my hair. Was it yesterday? Yeah, I just gotta take it easy. But I was really interested in you're talking about that. You put bentonite in your toothpaste combo?
Yeah, my toothpaste is bentonite clay. So bentonite clay is the predominant ingredient, and then I add a potato starch to actually get everything to bind together properly. Distilled water, olive oil, and I have two essential oils that I use: wintergreen and peppermint.
Do you use glycerin in yours?
No.
Well, I was thinking, maybe you could just use glycerin or I don't know. I guess the potato starch mixes it really well.
Yeah, it combines it really, really nicely.
Okay.
So that's my toothpaste. But it is phenomenal to have a toothpaste because I had like an abscess going in the front of my mouth, and I have a root canal, tooth replacement with a root canal, and I had an abscess going on the top of it, and I'm like, what is this nonsense? And I put some of my toothpaste on it and just packed it in there, and the next day it was gone.
I know bentonite clay is really good.
Yeah.
I think I used it a long time ago for a detox out of the bottle, and maybe I took a little bit too much, but I felt a little funny afterwards, but it's because I had that. It goes the distance. Bentonite clay goes a long distance, they say. I'm trying to remember.
Goes a long distance.
What am I trying to say here? It goes throughout your body. You just need just a little bit. It covers a wide area, it says. You'd have to look. Ask GPT Chad. Maybe they know what the heck I'm talking about. It's something that I read many years ago.
So using it as a like a detox?
I was using it as a detox, and I think I took a tablespoon or a teaspoon. It was an amber bottle, glass bottle, and I think I was trying to take it for my bones and detoxing. And I remember saying it covers a large surface area. Something I was reading, but I kind of forgot what the heck it was that I read years ago about it. But I know it's heavily in with the minerals. It's got a lot of minerals.
Yeah, and it attaches itself to heavy metals, so it'll actually remove heavy metals out of the body.
Yeah.
Anna B says, I'm losing my vision. Everything is starting to be blurry. I can't see nothing when I walk through. I don't see the rest of what you were saying there. Cabby, you're welcome. Bring it Coco up. Riley Siegfried ETA. What should my mom use for drusen and macular dystrophy? I'm going to recommend the 4 and I, my 4 and I blend. Hang on a second. I want to do this. So I asked ChatGPT, what are the benefits of bentonite clay as a full body detox? Okay, so bentonite clay, also called Morlanite clay, is a natural volcanic ash clay known for its strong detoxifying properties. When mixed with water, it creates a negatively charged substance that attracts and binds to positively charged toxins, heavy metals, and impurities in the body. So the benefits are it pulls toxins, heavy metals, and chemicals from the body, cleanses the gut and improves digestion, alkalizes the body, it boosts skin health when used externally, strengthens immune function, so it removes the toxic load from the lymphatic system, supports liver, kidney, and colon detoxification, provides trace minerals, so it's a natural source of magnesium, calcium, iron, potassium, and silica. And then it talks about the different ways to use it. 1/2 to 1 teaspoon and 8 ounces of water or juice. Drink on an empty stomach, away from supplements or medications. Follow with plenty of water throughout the day. And then external use, well, we all know about that. Warnings and precautions: always drink plenty of water when detoxifying with clay. Don't take near medications or supplements. Wait 2 hours. Start slow. Too much too soon may cause detox symptoms, headache, nausea, fatigue. It's not recommended for pregnant or nursing women without a doctor's approval, and use only food grade clay for internal detox. So that's just what it said generally. I'd have to give it some different instructions if you need more. But I really think that bentonite clay is a fabulous tool that we should use at multiple levels in our body. Just like castor oil is a fabulous tool that we should use in multiple levels in our body. Okay.
Good evening, ladies.
Hey, Coco, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am excellent.
Wonderful.
I'm tired, but I'm excellent.
Good, I got you. Good to see you. Hello, Holly. Good to see you too. Knowing me, I probably took too much bentonite clay back then, and that's why it made me feel funny. I felt like it's just a long story with me.
Well, you can actually get what is called you can get detox symptoms. So when you're detoxing and you're pulling all of the
That's what I
chemicals,
felt like. It felt like something was pulling in my body. It's very hard to explain, but I believe it was a tablespoon I took because I always take extra, and that's not always good.
yeah, you probably took a little too much for your weight. You need to start with like a half a teaspoon, and then if you need more, do it like 2 days later. Do it again. But the it attaches to so many toxins in the body that and washes them out of our system and even the lymphatic system, so you can really feel like you're really drained and
Yeah, I felt
have a
something for sure.
headache, an upset stomach, things like that, just from the detox from the clay.
Yeah. Leslie, we have a question. Anna B. She stated that I am losing my vision. Everything is starting to be blurry. I can't see nothing when I'm walking. Let's see.
Through, and I didn't see, I
Walking
didn't.
around her house and when she's walking outside.
Okay, so Not knowing any more than that, I would suggest 4 and I would be the blend I ask you to use, especially if you're having kind of a rapid loss of sight. If your sight's dimming and you feel like it's happening rapidly, so month over month you have less vision, then the 4 and I would be the right blend for you. So, and then hang on, Riley Siegfried, ETA, was asking about drusen and macular dystrophy. And I just wanted to read this about macular dystrophy. So, macular dystrophy, and here's a simple breakdown. Macular dystrophy, also called macular corneal dystrophy or macular retinal dystrophy, depending on the location, is a rare inherited eye condition that causes gradual vision loss, especially central vision, over time. So what is happening in the eye? The macula is the center part of your retina responsible for sharp, clear, straight ahead vision. In macular dystrophy, abnormal material like fatty deposits or scar tissue builds up in the macula. This blocks light from being properly processed, causing blurred vision, distortion, or blind spots. And I can tell you, so Riley Siegfried ETA, and you're asking this about your mom's eyesight. So castor oil is going to break up those fatty deposits. It's going to break up drusen. It's going to break up if you have surfer's eye, it's going to break those things up in the eye system. So not just at one level, but at multiple levels. And then that will all become waste in the eye system and will get flushed out, and then you will wind up with better eyesight. Obviously, because this is considered relatively innate to the body. So for some people, so it's considered inherited. I don't know how true that is necessarily. I guess there are some options to qualify it as inherited, but you can fight against this. You would just need to be consistent and probably for the rest of her life use eye drops to alleviate the buildup of the drusen in the eye, the lipids in the eye, the fats in the eye, the proteins in the eye, so that they don't just sit on the macula, on the retina, on the lens of the eye, wherever, so that becomes waste material and it is excreted out of the eye and dealt with as waste. So Riley, that was for you. Just Me says, all right, thank you. Okay. Coco, you're on your game. Like I'm looking for stuff, but you already answered everybody.
I'll be trying, girl. I'll be trying.
No, you're trying my foot. You're doing it.
You say, to the draw. To the draw.
You ain't kidding.
Right?
She handling it.
The comments be coming up fast, and I'm like, let me answer before another comment come up, and then yeah.
Trust me, I know. Julie says, are you an ophthalmologist? I am not. I am not. I'm not a doctor of any kind. And the second after I said that, Coco's like, at Julie, no. Just that quick. Just that quick. Just that quick. Just so you know. The answer is no. I am.
The holistic world, sometimes it's the people without those. It's at the end of their names that know more and will provide you with a better understanding about what's going on with the eyes without the titles. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and unlike.
But I understand.
Yeah, unlike an ophthalmologist, though, I'm not just studying the eyes in an effort to help other people. I'm actually dealing with my own eye issues, my own eye challenges. And,
Right.
you know, coming from that standpoint, like I think it would be helpful if every single doctor could have the disease that they're trying to help you with, so they can understand what it is that you're
Right.
working with. And, you know, because when you can't see, to have a doctor say, yeah, that's normal.
Yeah.
No, hell, it ain't. No, it ain't normal.
It's not normal. Right.
How is not being able to see normal? That ain't normal.
Right. They're just gonna keep upping your prescription. Yep, and that's what's happened to me. All I
Right.
get is a bigger lens and worse eyesight.
100%. 100%. And then they tell you, no, glasses don't make your eyesight worse. Well, then how come I still don't have the pair I had when I was 6?
How come I actually my newest glasses? My glasses every year. Right, every year. The amount that I have to pay for a new pair of glasses is insane.
It is insane.
My sister says a car home.
It is. It is. It's a down payment on a Kia.
It really is, right? Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Which is when I don't have the ability to actually to see both near and far. It's like I have to have a choice. No, God gave me both.
Exactly.
I paid for both.
So Bam Bam 34 says still waiting on our order. Can't wait to try it. Bam Bam, do you have your order number? I can check and see if your order's already shipped. If not, it's gonna ship tomorrow because everything's in place for me to be able to finish filling orders tomorrow. I'm so excited. So I was supposed to get an order of boxes today because I used 2 different sizes boxes, depending on how many items are ordered. And I was supposed to get more of my small boxes today. And like at 9 o'clock this morning, I got the notification that it'll be tomorrow. So we just used the bigger boxes. We're like, well, I'm still shipping. We're just going to use the bigger boxes. All right, we got 58 people in the room and only 1,300 likes. Yes, it's a tap party. It's time. It's time. It's 9 o'clock.
While we're tapping, we actually have Out of the Matrix.
I just
Speak with you.
Okay, I just got a sale. Thank you for the sale. K Davis 310, and right before we get to the person that's on the panel, K Davis 310, you bring up a great question, and I was having a conversation about this today. Should I stop using my cheaters? Abso-freaking-lutely. If you are using my eye drops, you should stop or scale down. So if you're using 2.5, go down to 1.0. You know, if you're using 4.5, go down to 2.0 and let your eyes adjust to seeing at that level. They'll change faster if you take those things off and leave them, you know, wherever you found them. Just leave them out. And you will get better eyesight quicker because your eyes have to do the work to actually see your surroundings. And that will help your brain teach your eyes, and your eyes teach your brain. They will work together, you know, in a more direct fashion if you let the cheaters go.
If everybody taps for a minute, 30 seconds, a minute, we got 65 people in the room. We can get this out to the algorithm so other people that have questions and have problems with their eyes can get on the live and see who Leslie Wright is and about all her products and how her products work.
So Sheila says, at the host, how are your eyes? My eyes are fabulous. I don't wear glasses anymore. I don't wear cheaters anymore. I don't wear contacts. I did wear them every now and then. I don't have floaters in my eyes. I don't have cataracts in my eyes. I don't have any heightened pressure in my eyes. I don't have any age related eye issue at all. And I'm 61 years old. And all of that was a change that happened over the course of 13 months from the time I turned 60 to 61.
Leslie had a cataract in each eye, and her left eye was worse, and it took her 13 months to get rid of the cataract in her left eye.
100%.
It's a shorter duration for her right eye, but she got rid of them by using her own products that she had compounded. And I got lower prescription glasses, so I'm still new to this, going on my third month now, Leslie, since January 11th.
Yeah.
We got our dates rememorized.
Yeah. You're January 11th and Dana's January 29th.
Yeah.
And then
I don't know what
Sheldon was early February, like the first week of February.
And we all got different problems, so we're all going to heal in a different way. But let me tell you, with all the problems I had, I really had a difference in me. Blepharitis, no more. Floaters, no more. Stigmatisms, no more. My glasses. I had bad stigmatism in both eyes. Thank God. So it just, it's like a weight off your shoulders. And I'm in lower prescription glasses. And I have cataracts, but I think it's working on that. You can feel the transition. Things start to happen as time goes on.
100%. 100%. No, the castor oil and DMSO will break up the protein buildup on the lens. Leslie, yes.
Let me ask you this, Leslie. When I put the drops in my eyes and I can taste them, I'm starting to like that, though. As I put my drops, tell me, am I weird or what?
Do you like it?
I drop in my left eye and I'm like, I'm going to taste that garlic taste. Oh, isn't that good?
No.
I start to like the taste. I mean, I like garlic anyways.
No, it's why is that weird?
I don't know. I just felt like saying it because some people would say, "Oh, she weird. She want to taste that in her mouth."
No, but
I like it now.
It's 100% natural. It is, beneficial to the body in so many ways, and that it's actually penetrating that deeply that you drop something in your eye and you can taste it in your mouth seconds later.
It's not a bad taste. I mean, it's not bitter like medicines.
Exactly.
This is like a tasty taste. It's like a little bit of a garlic taste. So I like it. But I know for sure now that my oil glands are unplugged, and the blepharitis, it was, oh man, that was hard to get rid of. But I noticed a transition a little bit after 4 weeks and 6 weeks. I'm like, I got this. Something's working here. And so that's why I can taste it in my mouth. Maybe it's just working through all those oil glands.
Yeah, no, it's breaking up all that stuff, and all of it's becoming debris, and you're getting pushed out of the eye system.
Yeah. And it doesn't burn my eyes.
Yeah, your whole system
is so used to it, and the burn went away.
That's what happens when you hydrate and moisturize the eye properly. There's no sting, there's no burn.
Something magical to it, though. I mean, it was a good compounding of those two products that you paired together. It just, to me, something magical about the two that going together.
Yeah, they fit together extremely well. Kind of like peanut butter and jelly. Like, who thought of that? But they just go together. It is what it is. Our kiss.
Don't make me crave for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I just said I stopped eating. I had my salad. It's over with. Having tea.
There you go. Our kiss says, I have dry eyes since 2023. And then she said, FAR AMD. So age-related macular degeneration is what AMD is. Out of the Matrix, I'm sorry, I was on a call, guys. Oh, well, does Out of the Matrix want to come up? I just sent you an invitation. Our kiss is far and nearsighted, and you have floaters. Okay, so Arcus, you need two things. You need my Revitalize, my moisturizing, hydrating eye drop, as well as the 3070. So order the 3070 and you get the Revitalize free. You'll get a 1 ounce bottle of that for free. They come together, and you would want to use the Revitalize for 2 days, 4 to 5 times a day, each day, before you start using the 3070. On the third day, you're going to use the Revitalize first, the 3070 second. Do that morning and evening, and that's it. Alexis Lacrosse, what is in those Wonder Drops? Well, it depends on which drop you're talking about, but if you're talking about the 3070, 2080, or 4060, the two ingredients are DMSO and castor oil. All right, Coco, I may as well go home. You already got this handled. I can just call it a day. Coco's faster. You can type faster than I can talk.
And if anybody wants to know, us on the panel we are using Leslie's products, and I use the 3070 and the Revitalize.
Yes. Tom's Denise says DMSO naturally goes into the system very rapidly. I used it for years in massage therapy. Absolutely. So DMSO penetrates in wherever you put it on the body. It penetrates very deeply, and it's a carrier. So it carries with it whatever you pair with it, which is why castor oil is what I paired with it. And it penetrates deeply. It can pass the blood-brain barrier. So it penetrates the whole entire eye system as a system and brings about repair in the eye. So Sheila, what do you think? Sheila, what do you mean? What do I think? Coco, Holly, did you see any? Oh wait, here's Sheila.
I have a I believe.
I just have.
How to cure propitis and floaters. Okay, I can't say it. PROPTOSIS.
Spell it again. PRO.
And I'll repeat it.
Yeah, if you can spell it again.
PRO. Yes, ma'am. PROPTOSIS. Proptosis.
ChatGPT is trying to change the spelling. Okay, proptosis, also called exophthalmos. Plain explanation. So proptosis is the medical term for bulging or protruding of the eyes. Dude, I just spent time on this weekend looking this up. When the eyeball pushes forward out of the eye socket more than normal. So if this is inflammation related, DMSO and castor oil are your best friend. It can affect one eye, unilateral proptosis, or both eyes, bilateral proptosis. Okay, causes of proptosis are thyroid eye disease, so Graves' disease, and that's an autoimmune disease. Orbital tumor, so a benign or cancerous growth behind the eye. Orbital, why do I can't say that with the word tonight? Orbital cellulitis, so a severe infection around the eye. Injury or trauma, inflammation, and blood vessel abnormalities. So arteriovenous malformation, aneurysm, or an aneurysm. Okay. And the symptoms are eyes look pushed forward or wide open, dry eyes since eyelids may not close fully, redness or swelling around the eyes, eye pain or pressure, double vision, headaches, vision loss if pressure affects the optic nerve. All right. And steroids are one of the conventional treatments, surgery, lubricating the eye protection. So in this situation, so for proptosis, you absolutely need to moisturize and hydrate the eye, which is what Revitalize is for. So you would want to use that maybe 5 times a day for the first couple of weeks, just to get as much moisture into the eye as possible. Then you would want to use, I believe, the 30/70 and the 40/60 blend. You'd want to use the 30/70 morning and evening, and then you'd want to use the 40/60 midday and do that for 2 weeks. And then start using the 40/60 at night. So 30/70 in the morning, 40/60 at night to get any inflammation, any swelling, anything pulled down. And if there is a growth at the back of the eye, a benign tumor of some type, castor oil is going to actually diminish that, because that's what castor oil does, is break things up in body. And hang on just 1 second. I'm getting a call. Hey, I'm online.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say there was no. It didn't say like an invite. Just how I could access the business card in my credit page. But we'll talk after you get off.
All right, you got it. Bye, baby.
I love you.
Love you. So, my daughter got her hair dyed today. It's fabulous. It's fabulous. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm telling you. I'm like, I got to figure that out, because girl she's looking hot. I told her, I said, you better start walking backwards, because people are going to be staring at you.
Oh my goodness. But we do have a question from Saint Digital Saint. It stated that pressure at 14 and the light circle around my eye.
Okay. So the light blue circle around the eye is called arcus cinereus, and that is lipid deposits around the eye, cholesterol buildup or fatty buildup. Castor oil and DMSO can break that up. It takes time though, but it can break that up and get rid of that light blue circle arc that's around the eye. And the blend I would recommend, I didn't say anything about the blend. The blend I would recommend is the 30/70, and I'd recommend you start using it 3 times a day, go 2 weeks, and then drop to twice a day, morning and evening. Just me. The website is giving trouble for, is it doing the same for you? Well, let me see. It wasn't giving me any trouble earlier today. You might need to just type in the website, bearcatbody.com, versus trying to click a link, because the links in TikTok often do not work properly. Okay, Czar HM, how to cure, okay, proptosis and bloaters, we already talked about that.
I just checked the site and it got me right there.
Okay, great.
So it may be just from clicking.
Yeah, copy and paste instead of click, and I think that'll probably take care of it. Annie 13579 says, I have dry eyes, lots of floaters. I'm near and farsighted and very dry and itchy. So you need the 30/70 and obviously the Revitalize. And again, you're going to use Revitalize 5 to 6 times a day the first couple of days. So for 2 days, go 5 to 6 times a day just on the Revitalize alone. And then on the third day, you're going to add the 30/70 morning and evening. So you're going to do the Revitalize, follow it with the 30/70, do the same thing in the evening, and you're going to do that twice a day until you get the results that you want. Alexis, you're welcome.
Hello, Sheldon. Hi, Sheldon.
Hi. Good night, everybody.
to see you.
Hey, Sheldon.
Actually,
I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm okay. Just returned from work. A little tired.
I'm sure. What time do you go to work? Because that sounds like a long day. It's.
No, it depends. They have two shifts, one morning shift and one evening shift.
Oh.
Sometimes I work evening. My evening shift is from 1 to 8.
Okay. So, hey, Bessie, how are you doing? So, Lane Manning, 231. Your order is going out tomorrow, 4 and I. So, it took me a little bit to get all of the ingredients together to make the 4 and I, but your order will ship out tomorrow. So, anybody who's ordered 4 and I in the last 3 weeks, you're going to get your shipments going out tomorrow. Just me. Could you send over the exact website for me, please? Absolutely.
Jasmine, let me know if you did not receive it. I could try to send it to your DM. Okay, looks like we have a question from Desi. Excuse me. I got I always check this name up. MYOPIA.
Myopia?
Thank you. Autism. I think that's spelled wrong. That's why I think it's supposed to be stigmatism. Right.
Astigmatism?
Right. Cataract, floaters. What do you recommend, and what will be the dose?
Okay, so it's myopia, astigmatism, and what else?
Cataract, floater, and floaters.
Okay, so yeah, that's the 30/70 all day long, and the dosage is simple. Again, you're going to use the Revitalize, the moisturizing, hydrating eye drop. You're going to use that 5 to 6 times a day for the first 2 days, and then you're going to start following the Revitalize with the 30/70 twice a day, morning and evening. So you're using it 5 to 6 times a day the first 2 days just to moisture and hydration into the eye system. So when you start using the 30/70, it doesn't, give you a sting or a burn. Somebody's got their TV on in the background. That's weird. Like all three of you have your microphones. Oh, well, maybe you just did that.
It wasn't my TV. I think it was maybe it was Sheldon's. No, I think it was on my end. Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Sheldon, what are you talking about? You said you said thanks for the order because somebody ordered. You heard the ding. Okay. I'm like, I didn't order nothing from you. What are you talking about?
No, Holly is not my TV because my TV is in standby mode. So.
Oh, that was me. My bad. Okay, we have a K Davis 310 stated. I kind of skipped using the drops only for 2 days. I'm on my second day. I used them both.
Okay. You kind of skipped using the drops only for 2 days. Oh, you kind of just skipped that process and you're on the second day and you just use them both. That's fine. I recommend that people use the Revitalize for 2 days before they start the 30/70 because if they have really dry eyes and they're not really aware that they have dry eyes, the 30/70 is going to give them a sting or a burn. And a lot of people just back away from it because they're like, this doesn't feel right. I shouldn't be having this sting in my eye. But it's because your eyes are dry, not because the drops actually burn your eyes. So I recommend that everybody do that. However, there are people that don't have dry eye and they don't get any sting at all from the 3070. Sheldon, you were one of those people. Like you got a little sting initially, and then you like the second day, you were like, it doesn't sting me at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. When I did it, I used to revitalize for the first 2 days, and I was prepared for a sting or burn on the 30s. And when I dropped it, my eyes was nothing. I was getting more of a sting from the revitalize, and then so.
Yeah.
And I can use the 3070 now without using the revitalize, and that don't bother me at all. Because only feel a slight warmth, and that's it.
Yes. And so, Kay Davis, if you're in that camp of people where your eyes are hydrated and you're in good shape, hey, I got a call coming in. So hang on a second. But if you're in good shape because your eyes aren't dry at all, then don't worry about it. You don't have to worry about prepping the eyes, getting them moisturized and hydrated. Hello, this is Leslie. I am on live on TikTok and YouTube. So I just want you to be aware of that before you start talking. Are you good to have a conversation with me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Can you send me the link how to order the drops?
Yeah, you want me to text it to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. I'd be more than happy to.
I've been trying to get hold of you yesterday on your live.
You were trying to get on my live yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wasn't on live last night because I was trying to get orders filled and make product and get things done, and I've been going as hard as I can morning, noon, and night. And last night I was just like, I just got to take a break.
Can you send me the link so I'll try to order something?
I am sending it to you right now. You should have gotten the text. So for all of you that are on TikTok and YouTube, the website is bearcatbody.com. It's BARECATBODY.com.
All right, thank you. I got it.
You're welcome. Have a great night.
You too. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. So even though I wasn't on live last night, I just didn't get on live, but I was up until 2:40 in the morning, making product and labeling product and security sealing and doing all the stuff that I need to do to get it out the door. But I just couldn't talk to anybody. Like I was in that mode of, I just got to get things done and stay structured. And I didn't want to get caught up in talking to people and getting into people's stories, because I got to think about things when people ask me questions. And I was like, I just got to do this work and get it over with and get done. And then I can go live when I don't have so much sitting here on my plate. And there's always things that don't go the way you plan for them to go. So I always have to look for alternatives. What am I going to do just in case? And like I ordered 241 ounce bottles, and the droppers that came with the bottles don't fit the bottles. So I'm like, okay, now I got to figure something else out. So I had to order some 1 ounce bottles off Amazon and get them here, and get all the droppers sterilized and the bottles sterilized, and so it's always, there's something that's always not in the plan. And I've got to have my head about me when I'm doing this work, because I try and make it as perfect as possible. When you get 3070, you're not getting 2874. You know what I mean? Like you're getting the exact thing that you think you're getting.
Okay, we have D up on the panel waiting to talk to you. Whenever you're ready, D, you unmute your mic. Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing today?
Excellent. How are you?
Good. Well, I just wanted to stop in and say I purchased mine on March the 10th. I just went back to look to make sure. So I got it maybe 4 days later, maybe a week later. I'm the one who always said I'm blind as a bat. I can't go without my glasses.
Yes.
Anyway, the burning is still there. I have to say the burning is still there. I'm using the 3070 and I'm using the Revitalize. but it's getting better and better. But I wanted to share with you today that I was in a hurry, and I jumped out of bed because I was running late, so I didn't have time to do my drops. I ran out into my car, got in my car, got ready to drive off, and realized I didn't have my glasses on. I've not done that in years. And the only reason I realized I didn't have my glasses on because I had got a text and went to look to see what the text was, and I couldn't read it. But I did what you said about go without my glasses for about 5 minutes, but don't do it more than 5 minutes a day or something.
Yeah.
I know you guys will think I'm crazy because I am blind as a bat, but I now drive down the road with my glasses on my head.
There you go.
So I do feel like they're working. I feel like they're getting better. I do think it's going to take me a lot more time than I want to give. You know, I want to be able to do it like yesterday. But the burning thing is still getting me a little bit.
So you're using the Revitalize, right?
Yeah, I know this is going to be TMI, but I carry that down in my bra and pull it out all day long using it.
Okay. So how many times a day do you think you use it?
Some days I can do it like 2 to 3 days, depending on my schedule. Some days maybe 5 or 6 times.
Okay. I'm going to recommend that you do it 5 or 6 times for 2 days straight.
Okay, now I did use it, and I will have to say that I used it for about a whole week before I even started using 3070 because it burns so bad.
Okay.
By the way, I like your Stanley. That's the one I have.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Hey!
Yeah, because I'm the one who got the stuff in the mail and went immediately to the 3070 thinking I was supposed to use it the day that I received it and got burnt my eyes out of my head.
Well, the great thing is DMSO and castor oil are kind of like cayenne pepper. So, you know, it's hot, it burns, but it doesn't burn. It doesn't create a burn.
Yeah, I understand. I used castor oil before I started using this, so.
Well, the DMSO is the thing that's causing the sting. That stinging, burning feeling is the DMSO.
Do you know it actually burns my skin worse than it burns my eyes?
Really?
Yes.
So
I have very sensitive skin, though.
When you put it on your skin, does it cause a welt?
No, it does not. And what I end up doing is, I don't know if I should be doing this or not, but I will actually just kind of put a little bit of pressure on my eye where it's out on my skin and everything until my eye gets adjusted to it real well. Because I mean, my eyes will burn and they'll water real bad, so it runs out of my eye.
Yeah.
That's when it gets on my skin, and I'm like, dang, that stuff hurts my skin worse than it hurts my eye.
Okay, so here's another tip I'm going to give you. If you have castor oil, put castor oil around your eyes externally before you do the drop.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. That'd be great.
So yeah, that way you've got like a barrier between your skin and the drop, and it doesn't immediately attach to your skin and cause irritation that way.
Okay, I'll try that.
Okay, and I'm interested in the fact that you're using the Revitalize as much as you are, but you're still having a sting. So I'd like to know if when you use that castor oil as a barrier, if the sting is drastically minimized.
Okay, now the Revitalize doesn't sting my skin.
No. I'm talking about the 3070. Like when because what I'm thinking is happening because you are having a level of tearing is that sting is all about the after effect of the 3070 getting externally on your skin.
Okay, I can do that.
And then I just want to see if that may be part of what's causing that, that feeling. And if we can mitigate that, that would be fabulous.
Well, I just feel like it's come a long ways in 3 weeks?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what it'll do in another 3 weeks.
100%. And that the fact that you're forgetting your glasses is huge.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's
my daughter
huge.
Today was like, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "Can you just run in and get my glasses and shut up?"
But it is a huge moment because your brain is losing access to the idea that you need the glasses.
And my eyesight is so much better in the morning than it is at nighttime because, they've rested all day.
Yes.
So if I'm at home all day, I can go, if I'm not reading or doing computer work because I work from home, I can go till, I've noticed I can go till about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock about.
Yeah. Another thing you could do, I mean, if you were willing to do it, is you could do a midday drop every other day. Not every day, but every other day
Of the 30-70?
of the 30-70 and see if you can even elongate that because it'll reduce fatigue in the eye.
Yeah, I can do that. I'm game. I'll try anything to get rid of these glasses.
100%. 100%. I wanted to like get the Witches of Eastwick and like do a moonlight dance party or something when I finally realized I don't need my glasses at all. Like I drove around for 2 weeks with them in the car with me and realized I never put them on my face.
Yeah, and the best part about mine is even with my glasses before I started these drops, everything was blurry and they're bifocals. So I was moving them up and down all the time, thinking that maybe my eyesight was getting worse,
Yeah.
And it was just so annoying because my eyesight was blurry even with the glasses, and it just felt like we couldn't get the prescription right. And now the blurriness is gone. The blurriness is gone, even though I still have to wear the glasses.
And here's the other thing. If you have an older pair of glasses, try them out.
Girlfriend, these are I told you in the beginning because I started using the castor oil way before I was
Yeah.
using castor oil. But these now, I'm 2 prescriptions behind what my original prescription was.
There you go. There you go. So your eyes are doing excellent.
Yeah. So I don't have any other glasses to put on after these.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. But if you're going to continue to wear glasses, when you go to get another pair, if you choose, if you need to, you want to make sure that the pair that you order is going to be like less than 2 levels less than what you actually need, because your eyes will continue to improve.
Girl, I don't want no glasses, and I don't want.
She's done.
I am done with that. We'll have a funeral form or whatever. I'm done with this thing.
I love that.
After I put in the cleaning these things, the wipes and stuff. No, I'm done.
No, I love that. A glasses funeral. I want to do that. I want to have a national funeral, a day of funeral for glasses.
That's what we need. But anyway, I will check in with you in about 3 weeks again. I just wanted to give you an update before we went to bed.
Thank you so much. That's fabulous. I really appreciate the update. Really do.
You guys have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. That deserves 2 cheers.
Exactly.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's like my eyes have the ability to see better. They just need they need a coach. It's like it is. The DMSO is like, come on, Castor, let's go down here and handle this. Come on, well. Because your eyes literally have been at rest wearing glasses because they don't have to do what they naturally have to do when you have glasses on. It's just like giving somebody this full body in a wheelchair and saying, doke it up. Well, okay, I'll sit here. We
have a comment from Shirley Reese 290. She said, hello, pain-free body butter has my back feeling better. Thanks.
Say that one again.
This is from, make sure I scroll down. There we go. Shirley Reese 290. She said, hello, pain-free body butter has my back feeling better. Thanks.
Yay! Yay!
Right, yes.
100,000%. That's fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Happy to hear it. Another cheer. Let's do it. Right. Robbie Nava 8. Can you really fix your eyesight? What do you do? Yes, yes. I have fixed my eyesight. I've restored my eyesight to the point where I don't need glasses anymore to move around and do what I do. I can drive, I can go out at night, I can hang out, I can whatever I can. And yes, and there was a time where I couldn't at all because my eyesight was so bad. Mary H.
22. Yes. Is this for macular degeneration?
Yes, yes. So the blend that I recommend for macular degeneration is 4NI. 4NI. Okay, user 418-266-545-7321. Do you ship to Canada? Hang on a second.
Hello?
Hi, can you hold on just a second?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, user ending in 7321. No, right now we're not shipping to Canada because I just did a shipment a week ago to Canada. It was $100 worth of product, and the customs fees were $276. Yeah, it's so until we figure out all these tariffs and the customs fees and all of that, I can't ship to Canada. I do have an affiliate in Canada who does have product available that can ship within the country. She already has it physically there. So if you want to do that, then you can place an order and I'll check with her and see if she's got product. And if she does have the product, then I'll let your order go through and she'll ship to you. But you can't, I don't ship anymore direct from the US to Canada because the fees are just outrageous. All right, I've got a phone call. How you doing? This is Leslie. How can I help you?
Hi, Leslie. This is Tina Ripley. I was just touching bases with you. You were gonna send my order out on Tuesday.
Yes.
For the 2-day for the 2-day. I think it was just 2-day or air or whatever.
Yeah.
I was just wanting to touch base to see if it was able to go out on time.
I believe it did. It was in
Okay.
hang on a second. Let me look. Oh, I gotta spell your name right first of all. Okay, it says it's in transit and wow. I don't know why it got pushed back, but it's like April 17th by 7 p.m. That's
kidding.
No, and it was shipped 2-day, like a 2-day.
Like a 2-day. That's what I thought. That's why I was watching for it.
Yeah, I mean this is really far back. Like this is like if I didn't ship it yet at all. I don't know why it's taken so long for it to get to you. April 17th is just a long time.
Yeah. Huh.
I'm gonna keep this page up and I'm gonna call UPS tomorrow morning and find out what's going on with it.
Okay, if you could give me a call back on that, I'd appreciate it.
Sure.
I didn't pick up anything else to use because I was expecting that to come in, and I've got to have something on hand.
Yeah, I'm gonna call and find out what's going on, and see if this is some kind of weird, anomaly.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, that would be great. Do you still have my number?
Yeah, I've got all your customer information on your customer profile.
Perfect.
So, and I'll reach back out to you tomorrow after I talk to UPS.
All right, that sounds good.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you for taking care of it.
No problem.
You have a great evening.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, that's what we got to do. We got to deal with these shippers because they are not as fantastic as they advertise.
Right. I have a question from Mary HS22 due to the character limitations. Otherwise, I would have typed it up. But she wanted to know more about 4NI.
Okay. So 4NI is a blend of castor oil, DMSO, Melio panini honey, 2% hyaluronic acid, and a Celtic salt saline solution. That is a blend specifically blended to restore health in the eye. The honey, the castor oil, the DMSO. DMSO penetrates very deeply. It carries with it all of those things deep into the eye system, and it can penetrate as deep enough to get to the optic nerve, and obviously it bring about whatever healing can be obtained by the eye system. So if your eyes have the ability to heal, that drop is definitely going to do it. And it is the drop that I recommend people go to when they have, glaucoma or ocular edema, and their interocular pressure is above 20. Yeah, 21. When your IOP is above 21. And then if it's over 30, I recommend that you use the 4-in-I and the 40-60 to bring that inflammation down as fast as possible. Okay.
So Mary HS22 just had injection for retina. Can I use 4-in-I also?
Yes, you can use 4-in-I, and when you use 4-in-I, you will get enough change in the eye that you will not need to have those injections. You will have enough positive shift in the eye that those injections will become not necessary in the eye. Whether those injections are happening because there's bleeding in the eye or because it's happening due to inflammation in the eye.
The guest X asks, how do you reverse stigmatism? What product?
So the 3070 is the only product that you need. And there's a lot of, here and there on whether or not astigmatism can be reversed in the eye. I believe that it's inflammation in the eye, which is the diagnosis. It's getting diagnosed as astigmatism, but because it's light inflammation, the actual shape of the eye is a little off. When you get rid of the inflammation, you get rid of the astigmatism. And I honestly believe that that's what happened in Holly 815's case, where she, when she went back to her optometrist, her glasses were adjusted for zero astigmatism when she's had astigmatism, like the whole time you've been wearing glasses, right, Holly?
I have a whole box of glasses here, and everyone has got stigmatisms in them, and I don't know. That's going to go to a eyeglass funeral too. So I have like about, I don't know how many pairs, 12 pairs or something. A lot of money. And I've even donated glasses in the past. But nope, I don't have any stigmatisms. And I just owe it to the 3070 that I use every day and the Revitalize. I think that did the trick for me. And I'm in a lower prescription glasses. Still working on it, but glad to get rid of those stigmatisms and the blepharitis.
Yes. So Karen Young 912 says astigmatism is an inflammation. It's a surface shape. So it's the shape of your cornea or the shape of the lens. That is very true. However, I have multiple customers who have gone back to their optometrist and had the optometrist say that they no longer need an adjustment for astigmatism in the eye. So either castor oil and DMSO are literally changing the shape of the eye, which I don't believe that's the case, or it's reducing something in the eye that allows for the change in shape of the lens or the cornea, which to me is inflammation. So I understand what you're saying, but the results are these changes aren't happening arbitrarily, and there are doctors saying you no longer need the adjustment for this thing. So if you know how that's happening, please feel free to, inform us all, educate us.
It really helped me, Leslie. I just remember before in the past, before I knew you in all those years when I was going to these different doctors, they'd be trying the different lenses on my eyes, and he'd say, well, you know, you see better this way with your left eye and with your right eye. And, you know, he was right at the time. I had a bad stigmatism, and that was the only way I could wear my eyeglasses. Now, those last couple pairs that I have, which are my newest pairs, I can't even see anything out of them because one eye goes one way and the other eye goes the other way.
Yeah.
So there's a definite, you know, there's just no stigmatism anymore after using 370s for as long as 3 months now. And the doctor's got that documented, you know. He's got that documented because he, you know, just looked at me and he goes, you know, I was able to read those lines in the mirror. He goes, you know what? This is without a stigmatism lens. He goes, you got no stigmatism. Very first doctor out of, I don't know, 30-some years. So, stigmatism can vanish if you work with your eyes. And it did for me because I've always had stigmatisms, and I'm glad to at least have that taken off my prescription. So, for me, it's a blessing. I'm very happy. And still working on a lot to work with my eyesight. Still working on it. Tap party, you guys. We got 73 people in the room, and it would be nice if everybody could tap all together. You use your pointer finger, and if everybody did it for 30 seconds or a minute, we'd really get Leslie Wright's live put out there in the algorithm so other people can see and hear what she's got to talk about when it comes to eyesight and eye problems and conditions. And it'd be a really good thing to share this with other people that are really needing some really good information about the eyes. So if we can all tap for a minute or two and get her, we're at 6-7K, and get her up as high as we can go.
So,
And we appreciate it.
let me throw this in here real quick. Because Karen Young 912 says, cornea, not the lens, 25 years of ophthalmic education, surgical, and career. Here's what ChatGPT says. Astigmatism affects both, but it depends on the type. There are two main types of astigmatism. Corneal astigmatism, most common. The cornea, clear front window of the eye, is shaped unevenly like a football instead of a basketball. This bends light unevenly entering the eye, causes blurry or distorted vision at all distances, and most people with astigmatism have this type. Lenticular astigmatism, the lens inside the eye behind the pupil, is shaped irregularly. Light bends incorrectly because the lens isn't symmetrical. Can happen naturally or develop with aging or cataracts. So, Karen Young 912, I'm just saying, these are not things that I'm pulling out. I know that, you know, you've had 25 years of experience, but ChatGPT is, you know, not interested in telling me stories or lies. It's on its own. And this is where I'm grabbing this information from. Plus, I've done other research and have listened to other doctors like Andrew Huberman, and he has said multiple times in different podcasts that astigmatism can affect the lens and the cornea, which is where I got that from. So that I just wanted to update you on where that was coming from me.
Okay, we have a comment from Miss T22. My eye pressure, both eyes 22, beginning stage of glaucoma.
Okay, so I would recommend you use the 4-NI blend. 4-NI, that's going to get that pressure down and keep that down, and it'll deal with the cataracts. So easy, done. And she has lattice degeneration. Absolutely will work with that too. So that's absolutely fantastic. So that blend is the only blend that you're going to need. And you'll also get the moisturizing, hydrating eye drop called Revitalize. That'll get the eyes nice and moist and out of that dry stage so that you can use the drops and they'll be comfortable for you. Mary HS22. I would like to try 40. Oh, 4 and I, please. Yeah, you can order it on the website. My website is bearcatbody.com. It's BARECATBODY.com. Barkley 76H, cayenne pepper. Yeah, because cayenne pepper is really hot, but it doesn't burn.
Natalie Ajnu 976, whiteout vision / photophobia.
Okay. Hang on a second. So, Natalie, are you willing to come up? Natalie Agnew 976. Are you willing to come up and have a chat?
And then we also have someone waiting in the queue. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and unmute your phone, please. Or unmute your mic, excuse me.
So the person that asked about the whiteout vision, whiteout vision, this is what ChatGPT says. When you experience whiteout vision, like a flash of whiteness, fog, or washed out sight, with photophobia, extreme sensitivity to light, that's your body signaling that something is irritating or disrupting your eye or brain's ability to process light properly. So, and the possible causes are a migraine, corneal damage, acute glaucoma, uveitis, optic neuritis, retinal issues, cataracts, side effects from medication, or a vitamin A deficiency. So, those are all the potential possible causes for um, whiteout vision. And then, obviously, photophobia is a sensitivity to light. And I would recommend you start with the 3070. I would start with the 3070 and see where that lands for you. Because I think the 3070 will do a whole lot to get your eyes in a healthier situation. Barkley 76H says glasses ruin the eye, making you dependent for life. 1000%. 1000%. Except I broke out of glasses jail using castor oil and and DMSO. So yeah, it would make you dependent for life if there were not alternatives, and this natural alternative is fabulous for the eyes. And if you want to be glasses free, you can be. So Saint Digital Saint, real quick, I have glaucoma. Okay. Do you know what your numbers are, what your IOP numbers are? And also, do you know what level of damage you've had to the optic nerve? Barclay 76H. Yep, sun gazing is absolutely fabulous. Recommend everybody do it at least 5 minutes a day. Get out early morning before 9 o'clock, preferably, and stare at the sun. If it's too harsh, if you can't take it because you have photophobia or any sensitivity to light, just close your eyelids. The sun can penetrate the thin skin on our eyelids and actually do what it does to the eyes and is very, very beneficial. So, Miss.
Question from Joe WTW1. What causes eye pain after I eat?
Wow, you get eye pain after you eat? Huh. Do you notice that in any kind of particular scenario? Like, is there certain foods? Are there certain times of day? Does it happen every time you eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack? I need that person to come up. So Miss T22, you said I just purchased 4060. Thank you for answering. Okay. So did you mean to purchase the 4060? K Davis 310, what is Bearcat Body? Bearcat Body is my business. I am the owner and compounder of Bearcat Body. My website is bearcatbody.com, just like you spelled it, BARECATBODY.com. So Miss T22, you said, oh shoot, I just purchased 4060. And I would like to know if that was a mistake and you might want to modify that purchase.
Okay, it looks like you have 2 waiting on the panel. And hi, Dana. Just made it in.
Hey, Dana. All right, who else is on the panel waiting?
Looks like it's Mary HS22. So
Okay.
Mary, if you can unmute your microphone, please. She hung up. Okay, then we have Sheila. If you can unmute your microphone, please. If you're there, Sheila, your microphone is still muted.
Sheila getting poor service, so her internet may be acting up.
That's true.
Because she getting red bars, so you have red bars, the internet connection poor.
Yeah, I see what you're seeing, Sheldon. Yeah, I don't think she's got a strong enough connection right now. So Sheila, you may actually want to I'm going to disconnect you, but you might actually want to reboot your phone or close TikTok and come back in and then rejoin the live because it's looking like you don't have a really good connection, internet connection at the moment. Okay.
Okay, Darren Houghton, he said, I have some issues I'd like to talk to you about. So I did recommend him to come up on the panel or give you a call, and the number's at the top of the screen. You want to know what direction he needs to go.
Okay. Joe WTW1 says, feels like a brain freeze that won't go away after a large meal. So this is intermittent. This is just sometimes this happens. Is that what you're letting me know, Joe? Darren, come on up and ask your questions. I just invited you up. Hey, King Sam 24K is in the room.
I think we got to the other questions. Just waiting for Joe WTW1. He said most of the time is when it happens.
Most of the time.
Uh-huh.
So, and how long does it last? Got a phone call coming in. Hello, this is Leslie.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I just want to know, I'm trying to find out which one's the best formula to start with.
Okay, I'm on live right now. Are you good talking to me on live? I'm on live on TikTok and YouTube.
Ooh, I was trying to find you back because I lost you on trying to find you. Can I just call back later or?
Yeah, you can absolutely call me back. I'll be off. I'll be off at 10:30.
10:30. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay then.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Nobody wants to talk to me tonight. I'm really surprised. Is Joe on a private account or something like?
I'm not sure.
Darren Hooten says I'm trying. What's he? You trying to come up?
Yeah, he's trying to come up to talk.
Okay. Well, you can always just call me. Just call the number you see at the top of the screen. Okay, hour or so only. Right way. Beatrice Trend says, buying this drop for my dad. Yes, do it. The older we get, I think the more we need it. No, you can go to my website. So, Beatrice, you can go to my website, bearcatbody.com. It's BARECATBODY.com. Just go to the website and you can order it right there. I just added PayPal as a payment option because there are, so many people that just need different options. And so I just added PayPal in as a payment option.
Okay. I also checked Joe WTW1 and he also confirmed that his account is not private.
Okay, good.
Kay Messingberg states, hello. I have been dealing with blurriness in my left eye for years, and I have had many diagnoses. And she said also as a follow-up, it is just so frustrating.
I'm sure it is. I'd love to know, though, what you've been diagnosed with.
If you like, you can come up to the panel and talk to her live, or you can leave in the comment what's going on.
Beatrice Trends, yes, my website link, my website is in my bio, and there is a link there You'll probably have to copy and paste it because when you click it, it doesn't go anywhere. But just copy and paste it into your browser, and you'll go straight to the website.
So Beatrice Trent, she also stated, I'm also having issues with reading blurry words, not when I'm watching TV.
Okay, so Kay Massenberg says they said uveitis and keratoconus. So if it's uveitis, you would have interocular pressure that's heightened. And if you're not having pressure issues, it ain't that. Keratoconus is actually where the cornea goes into a cone shape in the eye. So it kind of protrudes up. And if that's not happening, it ain't that. So Coco, were you reading Beatrice Trent's comment?
Yes, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. You're also having issues like reading blurry words, not when I'm watching TV. All right, Beatrice is like, I'm ordering it. Done.
I know that's right.
All right, Dee Dee says, hi, I have corneal Fuchs dystrophy disorder in the eye. Yes, and thank you for the order. Just saw that come through. Thank you. Hang on a second. I want to learn how to type as fast as my daughter on my phone. So Fuchs dystrophy is a progressive eye disease that affects the cornea, the clear front layer of the eye, causing it to swell, become cloudy, and distort vision over time. The cornea has special inner cells called endothelial cells. Their job is to pump out excess fluid and keep the cornea clear. In Fuchs dystrophy, these cells gradually die off or stop working properly. Fluid builds up, cornea swells, vision gets blurry, especially in the morning. So, 100% got you on this one. You're talking about Fuchs dystrophy. You would need the 3070. I would start you with the 3070, and that's going to get rid of any inflammation in the eye as a whole. That's going to pull that inflammation out and allow things to normalize, and hopefully allow those cells to, become healthier, so that they're not dying off as rapidly, or if at all. So Veronica says, what will this help with? Say that again.
We have Kay Madisonburg on the panel for you.
Oh, okay.
She wanted to know if there's any cure for, let's see, she had the uveitis and the
Keratoconus. Yeah, absolutely. So 4-in-I is the blend that you want, the 4-in-I, and that is going to deal with pressure in the eye, so the uveitis. With uveitis, because it is a little more serious than just having edema in the eye, or at least from a diagnosis standpoint, I also recommend you get the 40-60 blend, so the 4-in-I and the 40-60 if you're talking uveitis. So, or if you have advanced glaucoma, so with an IOP of 33 or more, then you need both of those blends, the 4-in-I and the 40-60.
Okay, because like I was stating, the doctor they first diagnosed me with uveitis. And then over the past probably like 2 or 3 years now, they diagnosed it as keratoconus.
So do you have a distortion in the shape of the cornea?
All I know up to my eye, I can see it, but if it's like far off, I won't be able to like read it.
So how far is far? Arm's length or further?
Probably like arm length.
Okay.
Arm length from my face, I won't be able to see like any words or anything like that there.
Okay. So, and is the whole picture blurry or just like text and things like that? Are faces blurry, objects blurry? Is it just everything's a blur?
Yes.
Okay.
Face, objects, everything.
So I recommend you start with the 3070. I don't, based on what you're telling me, and I can't see your eyes, so I don't know. But it doesn't sound like what you're talking about is either uveitis or keratoconus.
Okay.
Because if you had uveitis, you would have increased pressure in the eye. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to talk to me about uveitis a little bit, real quick. So uveitis equals inflammation inside the eye. Specifically, it affects the uvea, the middle layer of the eye that contains a lot of blood vessels and nourishes the eye. Think of uveitis like this. Inflammation, inflammation equals swelling, which equals eye pain, which equals vision problems. Left untreated, it can damage vision permanently. So, if no one said to you, you've got uveitis and we need to get you on a medication to get that swelling down, then it ain't uveitis. So did they put you on any kind of eye drops or any kind of medication, oral or
Yes,
otherwise?
they have put me on a lot of different eye drops. But here, probably for the past 6 months, they took me off of all of it and just said that that my eye won't come back to its state. So I don't know what else to do.
Okay, so they took you off all of the medication and just said your eyes just shot, so sorry.
Yes.
Who are these people? Okay, so
I even wear eyeglasses, and it still doesn't help at all.
okay, let me ask you if this sounds like something you're experiencing. So keratoconus is when your cornea, the clear dome-shaped front window of your eye, thins and bulges out like a cone instead of staying round. Is that happening in your eye?
I don't know what kind of shape it is, but all I know is it's like I don't know if the best way I could describe it is like if you're looking in a glass with like some water, and it's like that type of blurriness. I don't have like color distortion or anything like that. It's just blurry.
Okay. So what I would recommend for you is for an eye, because it sounds like when they diagnosed you with uveitis, that was probably an accurate diagnosis. I don't know why they would take you off medication and just say, sorry, we just can't do anything more. But I would recommend the 4 and I blend, and I'd recommend that you use that 3 times a day for at least 6 weeks and see where things land. You will also get the Revitalize, the moisturizing, hydrating eye drop, which you're going to need to moisturize and hydrate the eye. And thank you for the order. Thank you for the order. So you need to moisturize and
it stays dry a lot too. So
I'm sure. So moisturize, hydrate the eye, and then that will help the foreign eye penetrate more deeply into the eye system. And I would use it 3 times a day. Are you working right now?
yes.
Okay. It's going to take your eye maybe 10 minutes to recover. So if you're working midday, you're going to have to take some time to do this eye drop and then let your eye recover so that so that you can go about the rest of what you need to do.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, and in the beginning, it's going to take a little longer than it will after a couple of weeks because your eye just has to get acclimated to the eye drop.
Okay.
Okay. So when you get the drops, you're going to get the foreign eye and you're going to get the Revitalize. You're going to want to use Revitalize 5 to 6 times for 2 days. So use it 5 or 6 times a day for the first 2 days just by itself. Then you want to start using the foreign eye morning and evening. And you're going to do the Revitalize first, and then you'll do the foreign eye. And then at night, you're going to do Revitalize first, and then you're going to do the foreign eye. And you're going to do that in that rotation. In the midday, you're also going to do the same thing, the Revitalize, the Revitalize and then the foreign eye. But you're going to do that rotation straight for 6 weeks, 3 times a day. And then you're going to, after 6 weeks, you're going to drop to twice a day. And I want you to call me as you're walking this process so that I can talk to you about what's going on with your eye. And if you're getting change in the eye, there may be a point where I want to drop you to, just 2 times a day a little bit earlier, or extend the 3 times a day a little bit longer.
Okay.
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 Excellent.
I sure appreciate you.
No problem at all. No problem at all. You've got the website?
No, I don't.
Okay. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
Okay, it's bearcatbody.com. BearCatBody.com. I could probably move my head out of the way.
Okay.
I know I've got it in the wrong place. I got to move it. I got to move it.
Okay.
Okay. Do you need anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to drop you down. Thanks so much for coming up and having this conversation. I was so happy to help you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. See, that's how easy it is. Come on up and have a chat. It's really, really easy. It's really, really easy. Come on up and have a chat. Okay, do we have other comments because that conversation was a little long?
We do have Daniela_B. She was wondering, is LASIK worth it? Of course, I told her no. But she did state that her daughter, let's see here, let me get back to the comment. She stated blurry vision. I also have a daughter with a congenital cataract on her left eye.
Okay. So
I asked her to come up so she can speak more on it if she can, unless you're able to provide her some insight.
So on the question of is LASIK worth it? So it all depends on what your needs are and what position your eyes are in. I think if your eyes are extremely healthy and not dry, and you're not in that age range where you're going to get cataracts anytime soon, you don't have floaters, they can easily see the field of the eye. All of that is like you have all of that as an A plus, and you want to do something that's going to be long lasting and quick. Like I can do it today and tomorrow I have better eyesight. Then you want to do LASIK. If you've got any of those other issues, if you've got dry eye, if you've got floaters, if you've got cataracts, all of those things make LASIK more difficult and less successful. So in those situations, I would say absolutely don't do it. And it only lasts about 10 years. So you're going to get to a point where your LASIK is no longer LASIKing and you've got to get glasses again. So that's what I've got for that. And I just pulled up in ChatGPT a congenital cataract. And here's a quick breakdown. Excuse me. A congenital cataract is a cloudiness or opacity in the lens of the eye that a baby is born with or develops shortly after birth. And here's what's happening in the eye. Normally, the lens inside of the eye is clear, so light can pass through and focus properly. With congenital cataracts, the lens is cloudy from birth, blocking or scattering light. Thank you for the sale. This can cause vision problems if not treated early. And the causes are genetic, it could be hereditary, infections during pregnancy, metabolic disorders, chromosomal abnormalities, eye trauma in rare cases, and then the other is idiopathic. We have no idea. Here's early treatment is critical. If untreated, cataracts can lead to permanent vision loss, lazy eye, blindness in severe cases. The one thing I will say about this, even though it is a congenital cataract, is there's nothing here saying that it's not what a regular cataract is, an age-related cataract, which is a protein buildup on the lens of the eye. And in that scenario, absolutely, that protein can be broken up. I would actually start, depending on the age of your daughter, so the younger that person is, I would start with the 30/70 blend, unless they are extremely young, like 6 or 7 or 8. If they're single digit, I would start with the 20/80 blend, of castor oil and DMSO. But after 18, the 30/70, absolutely 100%. And I would recommend using it 3 times a day for the first 3 weeks, and then go to twice a day and see what changes are made in that buildup on the lens being dissolved. So, Ebby, yes, that is my phone number up above my head. And I had a phone call, and I think it was somebody that's on the, yeah, it is, Darren Hooten. I want to call him back.
Hello.
Hey, Darren, this is Leslie with Bearcat Body. Yes.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. You were on my live, right?
I was on it. Yes, I got you on the screen, and I was trying to get that to accept, but I couldn't get anything to go.
Okay. Well, excellent, because I just want you to know that I'm live. So if that's a problem, let me know. But I wanted to chat with you. I wanted to call you back and have a chat with you. I didn't want you to feel like I was ignoring you.
Oh, no, I see you right now.
All right, excellent.
Yeah. It just
How can I help you?
So I'm going through. I've been shots in the eyes for the past 2.5 to 3 years.
Oh, wow. And from what diagnosis?
I have diabetes.
Okay. So they're doing the shots because of diabetic retinopathy?
Well, hold on just 1 second. Hold on.
Sure.
Trying to go back to your. Okay, can you hear me better?
Yes.
Yeah, it was pausing for some reason.
Okay. Technology.
So I actually was going to Dean McGee Eye Institute in Oklahoma City.
Uh-huh.
And during my treatment, I was going through the lasering part for floaters and vessels that needed work.
Okay.
I'm currently still going through this. I get more shots now than any kind of laser.
Do you still have floaters?
I have very small ones. They're not as large as they used to be.
Okay.
So the shots is what I'm understanding is it's supposed to make the gel more fluid.
So they're giving you shots to adjust the vitreous fluid in the eye?
Yes, that's what I'm being told.
I would stop doing that like tomorrow.
Yeah, I actually supposed to go next week again.
Yeah, just tell them that's okay. That's okay. I'm good. I don't need to do that anymore.
Okay. So during the time that I was getting the shots or the laser in the eye, they would always go around the edges, but at one particular point, he went across the center of my right eye retinal. And it left a red and orange spot, and I could actually see the laser spots in my eye for months and months.
Yeah.
So ever since then, it's affected me with my job because I couldn't see the sights on my weapon. I'm an officer.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So I had to switch from regular iron sights to a red dot sight in order to be able to carry on duty.
Right. Wow. Wow.
So I'm almost 27 years deep on law enforcement, and it's causing me a lot of issues.
Yeah, and you need to be able to get to that 30 so that you don't lose all that traction.
Yes, ma'am.
100%. Okay, so here's where I would want to start with you. I would want you to use the 30/70 and the 40/60, those two drops. You're going to get the Revitalize, the moisturizing, hydrating drop. That's going to help with the vitreous fluid in the eye, and it'll help break up the floaters, any floaters that you've got left. I would want to talk to you on a regular basis because I want to see how your retina's actually changing, what the health opportunities are in your retina. It will also help with any scar tissue from the laser. So your eyesight, your actual eyesight clarity and focus will get better as your eye health gets better. But I want to see how your retina changes over time, from the first day to the end of the first 3 weeks, from the end of the first 3 weeks to the end of the next 3 weeks, so 6 weeks, where your retina, what you're seeing when you're target shooting, what you're seeing when you're specifically focusing using your weapon, those are the kind of things that I want to specifically have information on so I can understand the micro changes in the retina.
Okay, I'll have to get busy with that.
Okay. And I think you should stop getting shots in your eye.
Yeah, they're horrible. They've actually got my mother doing the same thing, and it's actually feel like it's making my vision worse.
Well, the one thing we know is you've been doing it long enough that if it could make your vision better, it should be better.
Well, and apparently these shots that I'm getting are extremely expensive. My insurance approved me for 15 of those.
Well, ask them if they can just give you the cash and not go. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Just give me the money and I just won't go. But I recommend you stop doing that very quickly and get these 3 drops that I'm telling you about. The Revitalize is free. You get that automatically anyway. The 30/70 and the 40/60. And I would have a conversation with your mom and say, you need to stop doing this because this isn't making your eyes any better. And with those shots, they're doing those shots kind of blind. So they know about where they should be jabbing you in the eye. But if they hit the wrong thing, you are blind.
That's very scary.
Yeah, and there's no recovery from that.
Good Lord.
So did they have you sign a document saying, if we happen to mess up, you can't sue us or you're taking the risk? You're aware and you're agreeing to accept the risk of doing these injections?
I don't remember signing anything of the sort.
That's excellent. Just because you have lawsuit capability at that stage.
Oh, I see.
But that's not what you're looking for. You're looking to be able to see better.
Yes.
Okay. And I think the DMSO and castor oil will go a long way to help that happen.
And something to add to that, so none of the prescriptions they've been giving me are working. Not even readers.
Oh God. Okay, well stop doing the injections, get the 30/70, 40/60. Let's get you on a protocol. And because of the work you do, which is excellent, we'll be able to look at what's happening with your eyes in a more precise manner and tweak the use of the blends so that you're getting the best possible outcome.
Let me switch to this text message so I can text my wife so I can write those numbers down.
Okay, I can just text them to you.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, no worries. I'll text it to you right now.
And I will definitely call you back and let you know what's going on.
100%. You
Thank
definitely
you so
know
much,
my number.
and there'll be a lot to talk about because this is a crazy deal.
Excellent. And yeah,
It actually started from me. I got sick one time and I busted vessels in my eyes.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize, like I just read a whole series of information on ChatGPT. I was actually reading it about having the eyeball pop out of the ocular socket. And
that's crazy.
Because my daughter was sick and she was kind of violently throwing up. And I'm like, close your eyes. I told her, I said, close your eyes and put a towel over your face while you're vomiting, because you can actually create enough pressure in your head to pop your eye out of the socket.
That is absolutely crazy because I was dry heaving and it was not fun.
No, and the last thing you need is for your freaking eye to blow up. So, and so I went on a deep dive, and when she was telling me, Mom, I'm so sick, I'm like, I want you to take a cloth and put it over your face, while you're vomiting, and hold it tight enough that your eyes can't like eject out of the socket. Close your eyelids, just hold it there.
So many things I can mention, but I don't want to take up all your time.
That's okay. We'll have plenty of time to chat. You know, we'll be talking, and I want you to come on the live and, you know, talk to everybody about what you're experiencing and what's going on and how things are moving in a forward direction, or if they're moving in a forward direction. You know, I
have asked several times where we're getting, and I'm not getting any direction.
Yes. Isn't it interesting that you're having this very expensive thing done to your eyes, and when you're asking, how is this helping me? You know, what's the end game? You know, how do I know that we won? How do I know that we've come to a place that's beneficial? And there's no answer.
I was actually getting these shots every 2 weeks, and now he's put me out to 2 months.
That's because your insurance is slowing them down.
Yes. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. If insurance would keep paying for it at the same rate, they'd be like, yeah, we'll do this every 2 weeks until this guy can't see anymore.
Well, the information you're telling me sounds absolutely amazing. And I would want nothing more to be able to see good.
Well, you know, don't take this the wrong way, but as a citizen of America, we want all of our police officers to have really good eyesight.
I had it all the way up to my 50th, and then it got kind of downhill from the diabetes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, these 2 drops are going to help a lot with getting some correction in the eye. And if diabetes is an issue, the 4 in eye is another drop that you might need to use. But right now, let's just see what we can do to correct what you've got going on right now.
That sounds great.
All right. Excellent. Excellent. All right. I sent you the text. You've got the information. Feel free to call me anytime.
I absolutely will, and thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. Take care.
You too, ma'am.
All right. Bye-bye. Can you believe that? Like, really?
That's crazy.
It's like you're really sticking a needle in this guy's eye.
And they're pretty much doing it blindly.
Well, they can't, because how can you see inside somebody's eye?
You can't.
Right. You can't. You can only get so much access.
Especially during those procedures, they're not looking to where that needle is going. It's all assumption.
It is. It is. It's all estimation, you know.
Right.
And I'm happy that they're guessing right a lot of the time.
Exactly. Hopefully.
But when they guess wrong, you're blind.
Exactly.
Like the answer to that, you know, the negative is so much bigger than the positive. And he said he's been doing this for 2.5 years and nothing's better.
I don't know how he was able to do it that long. I mean, they do have you sign a disclaimer. And sometimes, like with my sister, they had her sign it right before the procedure. It's like, wait a minute, y'all should have been doing this.
Yeah, no, your sister said her eyes were already dilated when they. Your sister said her eyes were already dilated when they handed her the paper.
Exactly.
So she couldn't see it anyway.
No. And they were betting on that.
100%.
Yep. Oh my gosh. Can you repeat? I can't remember exactly what he said about diagnosis. I think I would have to go up. I know he had floaters. And
yeah, he was
something with his eye pressure. The reason why I asked is because another guest was asking.
Okay. Well, he's diabetic, so I imagine there's some level of diabetic retinopathy there. But also he had large floaters. And so what they were saying, I guess, that they're doing is replenishing the vitreous fluid. And they were doing a laser to break up the floaters.
Right. And he just commented saying, I probably had close to 35 to 40 shots in my eyes over the past 2 years. Oh my gosh. Oh. That's a lot.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. And all of that to not have a positive outcome yet. All you're doing is scheduling the next one.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Okay, it looks like we have a Nick Johnson up on the panel.
He also said, I was told I was unable to sue the doctors here in Oklahoma because they're protected.
Oh yeah, most doctors are protected, so no. And that was probably part of the disclaimer as well.
Exactly. So what's going on with Angel Harris? Angel Harris says they want me to go to a neurologist.
She didn't elaborate.
Do I have to request to talk to you in order to purchase? Nope, you can just go straight to the website. So Nikki on a rock, just go to bearcatbody.com. It's BARECATBODY.com.
Nick Johnson is waiting for you. Mentioned about glaucoma. I think that was the only comment, but he's up next for you.
Nick, come on up.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Excellent. How are you doing?
Doing well.
How can I help you?
So my doctors, I went to see them, and they said I had glaucoma. They said my pressures were really high. Well, not really high, but they were high. And then
Do you know what the pressure numbers were?
I do not remember off the top of my head. No.
Okay. Do you think it was like in the 20s?
It may have been.
Okay. All right. Keep going.
So they said it's been fluctuating. They gave me some medication, and it was working, but I wasn't really seeing improvements. It was kind of just keeping it still, but then it started going back up, and then it started having some bodily side effects. So I was just wondering what else I could do to lower the pressure and, retain my vision.
Okay, so the two blends that I would recommend for you are 4NI and the 4060. And glaucoma is a qualification of pressure in the eye, so edema, inflammation in the eye, but also optic nerve damage. So did your ophthalmologist talk to you about the level of damage to your optic nerve?
No, not in detail. They just said my pressures were high, so they were trying to maintain.
Okay, so we're going to want to talk about that at some point, but to get you going, are you still doing prescription meds, eye drops, or anything like that?
No.
Okay, so you're going to want the 4NI and the 4060. 4NI and the 4060. Thank you for the sale. I just heard another sale go off. So 4NI and the 4060. We got to get that pressure down. We got to keep it down. Once your pressure's down, once you start using the drops, will you be going back to the ophthalmologist or optometrist to actually have your pressure tested so you know where you are?
Yes.
Okay, great. That's fantastic. Love for you to do that. 4NI and the 4060. Okay? All right, excellent. So if you're in the sound of my voice, there's 92 people in this room. If you're going to an ophthalmologist or optometrist who's telling you you have high pressure in the eye, so your interocular pressure is high, and they're diagnosing you with glaucoma. Glaucoma is a qualification of high pressure and optic nerve damage. Your optic nerve is how your brain gets the information from your eyes to interpret what it is you're looking at. So you don't want optic nerve damage. You want to know, you always want to ask these questions. What is the answer to the thing that they're telling you? You have high eye pressure. Well, what's the pressure? Normal pressure is between 10 and 20. 10 and 20. If your pressure falls below 6, that's a critical situation. That's called hypotony. And if your interocular pressure is really low, that is a serious situation. If it's really high, so if your interocular pressure is 35, 45, 55, somebody said 2 days ago that they went into the hospital with an IOP of 80. So, and obviously that's an emergency situation. So there are situations with our eyes that are literal emergencies, but you not having the information, what is my eye pressure? If somebody's telling you it's high, what is it? I was just 2 days ago talking to somebody on live. He said, my eye pressure is really high. I'm like, well, what's going on? What do you know what it is? Yeah, it was 16 and 17. That's not a high pressure. That's a normal pressure. Between 10 and 20 is normal. 20 is getting on the high side. When you hit 21, that's when you have high interocular pressure in the eye. But always ask, what are the numbers? Why are you diagnosing me with this thing? If you're getting diagnosed with glaucoma, you have high pressure, inflammation in the eye, and you have damage to the optic nerve. That's the qualifier. If they're saying, nope, your optic nerve looks good, there's no damage there, then that is not glaucoma. That's ocular edema. So we've got to be armed with this information. So when we go into the doctor's office, we can, speak to them in an educated way so that they know they can't pull the wool over our eyes. Thank you for the sale. Thank you for the sale. Really appreciate you. Okay? I really want everybody to have, be armed with that information so that when they're talking to their doctors, they can actually, drill down and get all of the, all of the information that they need. Irene Thompson says, I add my drops in my eyes. How much stays in the eye? I ask because I feel like I'm crying drops out. So, and you only need one drop, but it penetrates so quickly because of the DMSO. And I recognize that you feel like you're crying them out because your eyes water. That will dissipate over time. But I promise you, you're not crying it all out by any means.
Nick Johnson wanted to confirm, did you say 4 in eye and 40/60?
Yes. So Angel Harris, if you're still in the room, I'd love for you to respond back to, they wanted me to go to a neurologist so I can get something to clear my eyes up. No, a rheumatologist. So they want me to go to a rheumatologist. So do you have rheumatoid arthritis? Oh, and Darren, you're saying not even readers work very well, and I have to read computers as well every day. Wow.
You have a message from Maria A. Lena Garza. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Can you reverse eye damage caused by diabetes?
It depends. If your eyes have the ability to get healthier, absolutely. Absolutely. It depends on the level of the damage and how long that damage has been around. Carolina Rose, yes, call me tomorrow. After 10 a.m., please. After 10 a.m. They wanted me to get methotrexate for your eyes. Angel Harris, I'm interested in what was the diagnosis that they decided methotrexate was the right answer. So Darren, yeah, you definitely have scar tissue, but the damage is reversible where scar tissue is concerned because castor oil can break up scar tissue. All right, good night, Carolina Rose. How do I order? Maria Elena Garza. You're going to order on my website. The website is bearcatbody.com, BARECATBODY.com. Louise Zaros. Yep, I got it. I got a new pick. I'm trying to change it up every now and then. So Angel Harris says they were trying to see if anything was wrong with the eyes. So they wanted to take a drug to do that? Okay, and so here's the skinny on methotrexate. Methotrexate is a powerful prescription medication used to treat autoimmune diseases, certain cancers, and severe inflammation. So it's classified as an immunosuppressant. It calms down any overactive immune system. It's a chemotherapy agent in higher doses. What does methotrexate do? It stops cells from growing and dividing quickly, including immune cells that are attacking healthy tissues in autoimmune diseases. And obviously that would be arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, lupus, uveitis. Okay. And cancer, controls chronic eye inflammation. Okay, so they're trying to determine. I think at the highest level, they're using a really strong drug to potentially bring down inflammation in the eye, diagnosed as uveitis. But it sounds like they didn't actually diagnose you with uveitis before they said go to a rheumatologist and get this particular drug. So in low doses, it's an it helps with autoimmune conditions. In high doses, it's a cancer treatment. So I wouldn't go on that to deal with uveitis. If you were diagnosed with uveitis, I would be like, use the 4NI and the 4060 together, and that will bring the inflammation down, and that'll put you right where you need to be. And actually, it's reparative in the eye system so that you can deal with the causation of where all of that inflammation is coming from. Okay, so Darren Hooten, he's like, you might get your wife on board with me, but she has been switching more to holistic. Honey, I'm telling you, holistic is we got to figure out how to get ourselves there. That is just how important it is. Because I was having a conversation today. I was talking about how apples have been genetically modified to be sweeter. So for people that are diabetic, an apple really is like a piece of candy. And it's insane. It's insane. Like, what do we need to do this? But it's just to actually increase our desire to eat the thing. Grapes, too. They've genetically modified grapes so that they're sweeter. They're doing the same thing with kiwi. It's all over the board. Like, we need this level of sweetness to survive. It's insane. It's just insane. Angel Harris, you're on 5 eye drops? Oh my God. Okay, Angel, you want me to repeat the website? The website is bearcatbody.com. BARE. So bear is in naked. CAT. B. Hold on just a second, please. BODY.com.
Hello?
Hello, yes, I'm here. How can I help you?
Hi, ma'am. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? I'm on live on TikTok and YouTube. So is it okay if we have this conversation on live?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was listening for your live.
Okay.
I'm a fan of you. I listened like a couple of times. I have glaucoma.
Okay. Do you know what your
Using,
most recent pressures were in your eye?
the pressure was from 10. I went there 3 times. One was 10, 12, 10, 12, between 10 and 12, yeah.
Okay, and are you on medication?
Yes, I'm on dorzolamide.
Okay.
Timolol,
Okay.
limonadine, and latanoprost, the one you take at night.
Okay, yeah, latanoprost.
It's been like a couple of months that I did I don't know how you call it, Flamox something, that tube you put under the eye. I did it twice. They put a tube on my eye, like for the, because I'm from Africa, the English is not that.
That's okay.
Yeah, they put a tube.
So they put a tube in your eye to keep the gland open so it was constantly flowing.
Yes, yes. And after that, after a couple of weeks, the pressure went high. I go see with another ophthalmologist, and he gave me a laser. He did a laser the last time.
Okay.
Since that laser, the pressure is down from 10 to 12. But now my vision is very blurry.
Yeah.
I can read, I can write, I can do anything.
Okay, that's because
sometimes when I get to the light for a while, so it's too bright.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, when I move, it's getting darker.
So the problem is because they put those stents in, those tubes in, your eyes are dry now. Because your eye doesn't have the ability to hold on to any fluid. It's constantly draining out.
Yeah.
So, and your dry eye causes the blurry vision.
Oh, okay.
So
I was taking some lubricant too. The lubricant is one that I take something fresh. I use it sometimes. But
yeah, no, that does nothing. So my revitalized eye drop will actually replenish moisture in the eye, and that'll be beneficial. But those tubes, have you had them taken out yet?
No.
Okay, you're gonna want to have those taken out because they're perpetuating the dryness, which is you're just gonna keep that rotation going.
Okay.
So and having your pressure at 10 or 12, that's good. Being able to maintain it there naturally is a whole lot better.
Okay.
So
what about the vision? Do you think the vision can get better?
Oh, absolutely. Because
the left eye is gone since I'm just I got one eye now, the right eye.
Okay. So what happened to the left eye?
I was the same thing, the glaucoma, and I did couple of surgery, and the retinal was detached, and after that, all of a sudden it went out.
Okay.
Now I'm keeping the right eye, so.
Yeah. So here's the deal. I would actually, I'm going to suggest that you have those tubes taken out after a couple of weeks of using my drops. I'm going to recommend that you use the 4-in-I and the 40/60, those 2 drops together to actually keep the pressure down. But castor oil and DMSO works on the causation of the problem of the eye. So it's not just treating the symptoms. It's dealing with why is this happening to begin with. And having those glands permanently opened means that the drainage system in the eye can't normalize.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, it can't be normal. And you need that to be normal so that your eye can naturally moisturize itself and you have a quality tear film. Your tear film is creating enough liquid and enough oil to keep the eye healthy.
Oh, okay. I see. So, I don't know. Because I'm going to Africa next week. Can it take like 3 months? Because I'm coming back to New York by August. Do you think I can take that risk, go to Africa and come back?
That you can, I'm sorry, that you can take it with you?
No, I'm traveling, yeah.
Yeah, that you could take my eye drops with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they come in a 2-ounce bottle, so you can definitely take it on the plane.
Oh, okay. All right. So how I'm gonna order it now? I want to order it.
So you're gonna order it on my website?
Oh, I have to go to the website and order. Okay.
Absolutely.
What
So
do you say again? 40 what?
the 4060 and the 4-in-1. I'm gonna text it to you.
Okay.
That'll make it a little bit easier. If that'll make it easier.
Yeah, that will make it easier.
Okay.
I will do it tomorrow. I will order it tomorrow.
All right, excellent.
I have to take the tube out, or definitely.
Well, you'll want to do that at some point. You don't have to do it right away, but
Okay.
you just need to know the health of the eye is not going to be stable if you can't, keep the moisture in the eye all the time.
Okay. I see now. Okay. But is it gonna help with the vision or no?
Taking out the tubes?
No, the drop.
Oh yeah, no, your drops are going to help with the vision and help with the overall health of the eye.
Okay, thank you so much. Just send me and I will order it tomorrow.
Okay, I'm sending it to you right now.
Okay, thank you so much for your help. Thank you. I'm listening to you all the time.
Well, excellent. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, being in the audience and listening, and I appreciate the phone call.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. I will call back anyway.
Okay.
And you have a wonderful night.
You have a wonderful night too. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay. All right, guys. It is 11:06. We've got 20,000. We got to 20,000 likes. I appreciate you. Yay. Thank you so much. Sheldon, Coco, Holly, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I stayed 30 minutes longer than I planned on, but it's absolutely fabulous. I had some really great conversations tonight. It was wonderful.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, no, it was stellar. Like I couldn't ask it to be any better. Okay, so I'm gonna get out of here. I will be back tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. 8:30 to 11. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. If I didn't get to your question, please come back. I will get to it. Take down my phone number. You can give me a call. I do try and answer all the calls between 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. However, sometimes I'm talking to people for an hour and a half before, I can get to the next call. So leave a message. I'll call you back. This is also my number on WhatsApp. So no matter where you are in the world, you can WhatsApp me on that number. Okay, that's about it. Thanks so much. I love you guys. Have a great evening.
You too.
So how many of these are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. All right, YouTube. I'm sorry. I gotta go.